Greetings to all of you. I'm going to narrate travel log. So recently I went to a tour, and that is Uttarakhand tour package organized by Thomas Cook. In spite of COVID threat, as you all know, the second wave of coronavirus is attacking. But in spite of that threat, I booked through the Thomas Cook company because the offer was given in order to start the tourism industry slowly. But even now, the tourism industry has not picked up for the past 9 or 10 months. So last time in the month of March, I went to Mizoram. That was my last tour package. So when I was at the stage of finishing my tour package from Mizoram, and when I was returning from Mizoram, actually on March 8th, 2020, the corona and the story started actually. From March 18th onwards, total lockdown throughout the world. So for the past 9 or 10 months, there was no tourism, and there was not possibility for me to go on a tour also. But this time also, I thought that at any moment, because of the second wave, my tour program would be cancelled or my flights may be cancelled. But I thought of maybe it may be rescheduled, but it went on smoothly. So I'm going to narrate the complete travel log. I started my journey this time from Nainital to Coimbatore by bus, and after that I reached the airport in the morning. I have to walk from the bus stop to airport in the morning, early morning, around 4:30 or 5:30. After reaching airport, I had to refresh myself in the airport itself, and then I was waiting for my boarding from Coimbatore International Airport. Uh, Actually, the flight time was 11 o'clock, so the boarding would start by 9:15, I think so. 10 o'clock, boarding would start by 9:15. So I had to wait, and I was waiting, and it was a wonderful moment for me because my tour program was not cancelled. That happiness I was holding. So I was anxiously waiting for my takeoff of my flight and Indigo flight. So I reached Delhi by around 1 p.m. as per the schedule. And after coming out of the airport by taking luggage, I was waiting in the parking lot in Terminal 2. I was waiting for a representative of the Thomas Cook company who had to pick up me, but I received a phone from that driver, and he said that his name is Niroj Sharma. He is a Punjabi, and he is coming to me, and he wanted to share my location. I said my location, and I shared my location through WhatsApp also. And he has finally identified me and came to me and took my luggage and put the luggage in the car, and we alone, myself and driver alone. He drove the car, and I was sitting in the car. I was very happy that he has picked up within half an hour of coming out of the airport. And then I asked him directly go to Uttarakhand state to the destination. But before that, I asked him, and the outskirts of Delhi, I requested him to stop somewhere else to take my lunch. And at 4 o'clock, after crossing Uttar Pradesh, the border of UP, when we entered, he stopped on a hotel, and we took a meal there. After 4 o'clock, I asked him, hereafter you need not stop, because he said that it would take 8 hours to reach the destination of that is Mussoorie Hotel, so Mussoorie Resort actually. And he said it would take 8 hours. So I said that before 10 o'clock anyhow we have to reach. The climate was totally chill, though even in the daytime. There was a sunlight, but people were, warming themselves by putting some firewoods and all, campfire and all in every home, and we were watching them when we were going on the car. And that climate was totally chill, and it would take more chillness in the night time. Therefore, I asked the driver to go fast, but the road was very. He drove the car very smoothly, but road was not smooth, and so lots of ups and downs. So it was very horrible for me to travel all the way on the road by car, that too a very rough road. But the driver Sharma drove the car very nicely, smoothly, and after crossing UP, we entered into Uttarakhand. In Uttarakhand, the state capital, Dehradun. So after reaching Dehradun around 9 o'clock, that road was very smooth. Then he drove very slowly because of the city, capital of Uttarakhand. So I used to see the entire city on a car because the cars went very slowly, crossing the city of Dehradun. After crossing Dehradun, and we were climbing Himalayas to reach Mussoorie. And in Mussoorie, the top area, the resort was located, a classic fall resort. So before going to that resort, I talked to the Thomas Cook representatives that asked the resort people to keep my dinner ready. We would be reaching late by 10 o'clock or 10:30. And rightly, the resort people were informed, and the resort people contacted me, and I said that within 10 minutes we will be reaching there. Please, please keep the door open. In that way, we entered, and they were waiting for us. And after entering, the car was parked, and immediately I went to room, and more chillness, and I could not even speak out to the receptionist. And I said that we will meet tomorrow morning, and let us. It is better to bring my dinner to my room as a room service. And I asked, and that way they provided room service. And the room was very quite comfortable, and I stayed there, and I slept immediately after taking my dinner. And now early morning I woke up, and I tried to contact people, but it was not possible for me because no Wi-Fi network in that hotel, and no range for BSNL or Geo. So it was very horrible to contact the people. Only Airtel would be having a tower and coverage there. So I tried to contact my son who is having Airtel, and he had some arrangement for getting Geo connections and roaming facilities. He recharged my mobile. So in that way, I spoke to him and contacted people in the morning. Then after a breakfast, I was taken by Sharma for sightseeing, and we went to so many places in and around Mussoorie, and we went to a very peak point in Mussoorie, and after that we went to falls, a very nice falls, very amazing falls, and I was very happy to go around the falls area. And we have to get down from the top to bottom, and in the bottom there was a falls, and many people were there, and I enjoyed like anything. And after that we went to another top peak area through a winch, uh, both going there, and after staying for some time, then returning back, and that way then we entered into Mall Road. Then after 4 o'clock we could not stay there, and immediately I asked Sharma to take me to hotel resort, and he took me to resort, and 4:30, around 4:30 I reached resort. I could not come out, and I stayed back, and I went to dinner 7:30 itself, and again I went back to room and took rest. So many places I have visited, and in and around Missouri area, all the places are very good places, and you can see those places in videos also. And after next morning, I mean on the 12th morning, I mean 13th morning, we started from Missouri to Nainital by car by around 7:30 itself, and on the way to Nainital, we had a chance of going to Haridwar, and in Haridwar temple, car was not allowed. Therefore, the car was parked in a parking area, and I went to that temple by cycle rickshaw. And after reaching there, it was very beautiful scene. That is the Ganges, the river Ganges flowing like anything, full speed under the bridge, and we have to cross the bridge to go to the temple. After visiting the temple, and come back to um, car parking area immediately, and asked Sharma to go out, and he was wondering, you have returned to car very soon, and you have not, whether you have seen that temple or not, he asked. And I said that yes, I have visited by rushing up, and I have come back, and he drove the car to Nainital straight away. I asked him, don't stop anywhere, straight away you go to Nainital. That is also in Himalaya, but in other area. And Nainital is a very beautiful place, and it is not the, though it is not the capital of Uttarakhand, it is second capital of Uttarakhand. The High Court of Uttarakhand is actually located only in Nainital, and there are 10 lakes are very popular in the Nainital, and straight away I asked him to go to resort, and he took me to resort straight away, and around 3:30 p.m. we reached to resort, and very nice resort actually, but people were not there. Tourism started actually, but people were having fear. Therefore, I think that I was the only one person booked that room, the entire resort, and I was the only person, and there was a very good reception. Usually in the COVID time, people would have a fear to how we are going to maintain the social distance, but it was very possible for me to maintain a very great social distance because nobody was there, and I enjoyed like anything, and very beautiful room. From that room I can see the lake, so lake view resort. I stayed comfortably, and I went to shopping for the night time, and I came back to room by 8 o'clock itself, and I had a very good rest. In the morning, I was taken by the Sharma to sightseeing places, and that Nainital was also a very good place, and I enjoyed like anything in Nainital because horse riding. In horse riding, it took 2 hours for me for climbing by horse in a horse, and coming down in a horse, and it was very. I mean, what I say that very scary. I scared like anything, and I asked to stop that. I mean, riding, and but he convinced me, and the horse man has very well convinced me, and though he was not in a position to understand my English, I spoke a little bit Hindi, requested him to stop and carefully, I mean, take care of me. And we went to peak, and I took some photographs, and you may see that photographs also. So coming back from top to bottom through horse, and it was a wonderful experience for me. Nearly 10 kilometers we went, just like a small track, very small track. One side is a very deep, deep fall, and anything may happen if the horse is putting his legs in wrong direction. Anything may happen, but it was very scary. But anyhow, that task was accomplished, and I was very happy after finishing my riding. But at the time of riding, I was very much scared, and there are no words to express my that fear about the horse riding. So then I was taken by a jeep to some other places, some other, and I saw China border through telescope from one place to from that place from peak point. It was very wonderful scene, and after that returned to another lake, and after seeing the lake we went back home, and then from Nainital we started to go to Carpet, which is also in Uttarakhand state, and then Carpet we went there at the morning, and that was a very fine resort, the four-star resort, four-star hotel, and we stayed there, and we could not see anything, but it's a deepest forest, and we could see animals, few animals in the daytime, and in the night 1:30 I have no other way to go. We had to rush up to catch a flight from Delhi to Madurai, so we started in the midnight 1:30, and when we came back from resort after checkout, it was possible for me to see some deers crossing the road, and tigers crossing the road. Our car was we have to slow down our car, and after crossing that animals we have to proceed, and then you know very well that season is a very chill season, folk season, and driver was very much worried whether we would reach. Actually, 5 hours travel, but he said that because of fog, if anything happens, it may take 10 hours also sometimes. He said that's why we started 1:30. But when we are nearing to Delhi, there was a huge quantum of fog, and we could not see a car very nearby, and we had to go by car only in the speed of with the speed of 20 kilometers. So because of fog, and even in the morning 8:30, 9 o'clock, we could not see the car which is going ahead. That was the position. So we were forced to go very slow, and we could reach the airport only by 10 o'clock. So the flight was cancelled, and that message I received. So immediately I have made some arrangements, and I requested the people of Indigo requested to alternate my flight, and therefore I have changed my flight from Delhi to Madurai. Instead I changed my flight from Delhi to Hyderabad, and Hyderabad to Trichy. In that way, my tour came to an end. After reaching Trichy, I came to Dindigul by car. So this is the whole story about my travel log to Uttarakhand package. So I enjoyed, but the only thing is during the COVID threat, I went to the tour very boldly, and during the Pongal festival, I missed my family members, and I was not in a position to celebrate Pongal here, but I celebrated Pongal in a different way, in a different places, very enjoyable moments during the Pongal holidays. It was an amazing thing. I'll never forget in my life about this tour. It's a memorable tour, really. Thank you very much.